2 years ago, one woman slammed the door on her biggest dream and walked away without looking back. This week, in front of a stadium painted red, white, and blue, that same woman walked onto the court to face her, and what happened next turned an entire tournament into a coronation. By the end of this video, you are going to understand why players ranked inside the world's top 10 are starting to dread seeing one specific name next to theirs on a draw sheet, and why tonight, in Ohio, the biggest test of her career is unfolding in real time as we speak. So stay with me, because I am going to walk you through exactly how we got here, and what happens next is still being decided on the court right now. Before we get into it, if underdog stories like this one are the reason you're here, do not scroll past this without hitting subscribe. Because what's happening with this player right now is moving fast, week to week, match to match, and if you're not subscribed, you are going to miss the moment this story reaches its climax. Hit that button, turn on notifications, and let's get into what has become one of the most electric runs in tennis this year. Let's rewind 2 years. The 2024 US Open. Final qualifying round. One match away from the biggest stage in tennis, a 19-year-old Filipina named Alex Eala walks onto the court ranked 185th in the world. Standing across the net is Elena-Gabriela Ruse, a 122nd ranked Romanian with far more experience at exactly this kind of pressure moment. Eala fights. She takes the first set. But Ruse claws back, wins the second, then closes it out 6-4 in the third. Door shut. Dream over. And here's the part that makes it worse, this wasn't a one-off heartbreak. That defeat to Ruse was the third time that Eala fell in the final round of Grand Slam qualifying. She'd already lost at that exact final hurdle at the French Open. And at Wimbledon. 3 doors, slammed shut, one after another, on a teenager still trying to find her footing on tour. Now fast forward 2 years. The gap between these two players has completely flipped. Eala has climbed to a career-high world number 18. She's captured her first WTA Tour title. She's reached the 4th round of Wimbledon. Ruse, meanwhile, sits at number 74, still a solid professional, but no longer the gatekeeper she once was. And on Saturday, August 15, 2026, at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, these two were drawn against each other again. Same two names. Completely different stakes. Ruse comes out strong, breaking Eala's serve to open the match, going up 30-0 in that very first game. For a moment, it looks like history might actually repeat itself. And then it doesn't. Eala rips a forehand winner to earn a break point back, levels the set, and from that moment on, she simply does not let go. She holds. She breaks again. She attacks Ruse's second serve from 2 feet inside the baseline, ripping return winners that leave Ruse with no answers. The set ends 6-1. 9 winners for Eala against just 7 unforced mistakes from Ruse, and Eala wins 5 straight games to slam the door shut, this time from the other side. The second set opens the exact same way, Eala surges to a 3-0 lead, breaking Ruse twice. Then the sky turns on both of them. Lightning forces a suspension of play. And in that delay, something else becomes clear. Ruse has been dealing with an apparent right foot injury, bad enough that she'd already called for a medical timeout before the storm hit. When the delay drags on, Ruse doesn't come back. The match ends in a retirement. Eala advances 6-1, 3-0. Afterward, Eala doesn't gloat. She doesn't even really celebrate the revenge angle out loud. I think that I was playing well. I felt the ball good, was really focused and tried to keep myself in the zone. Of course, nobody likes to finish a match with a retirement. First and foremost, I just want to wish Gabriela Ruse a speedy recovery. Injuries aren't fun, so I hope she recovers soon. Classy. Composed. But make no mistake, closing that particular chapter, on that particular opponent, mattered. It extended something that has quietly become the defining trait of her entire 2026 season. Eala has now beaten 7 straight opponents who had previously beaten her, a list that includes Iga Swiatek, Qinwen Zheng, Leylah Fernandez, Jessica Pegula, and Alicia Parks. Every ghost from her past, one by one, getting exorcised on court. And Ruse just became the latest name crossed off that list. But here's where the story gets bigger than any one match, because this win didn't just close an old wound. It opened the door to something far more dangerous. And what's waiting on the other side of that door is happening right now, tonight, as this video is going out. The win over Ruse set up a third-round matchup against a genuine heavyweight, world number 10 Amanda Anisimova. A four-time WTA titleist. A player who reached back-to-back Grand Slam finals last year. The 9th seed in Cincinnati. This is the storyline everyone in this tournament has been circling since the draw came out, and it's not hard to see why. Anisimova, gracious as ever heading into it, talked about what she expected from the atmosphere. "I love a packed stadium and I love a good atmosphere. I'm sure it'll be a great match, even though they're probably going to be rooting for her. But I don't mind. I'll try to thrive off of the energy. She's been having such an incredible season, incredible year. Very great player with a lot of fans." That last line is not an exaggeration. If you've watched any of Eala's matches this summer, you already know what's coming for Anisimova. This is the same wave of support that has already rewritten the atmosphere of tournament after tournament this year. So just how big has this wave gotten? Let's put it in perspective before we get to tonight, because you need to understand exactly what Anisimova is walking into. Ohio is home to nearly 17,000 Filipino Americans, and Cincinnati's broader Filipino community numbers well into six figures. For most tour stops, that wouldn't be enough to flip a stadium's atmosphere. For Eala, it has been more than enough everywhere she's gone this year. In Toronto, fans drove up to 8 hours just to watch her play, turning the venue into what players and commentators started calling Little Manila. Eala herself has leaned into it, referencing the passionate, community-driven energy of Philippine basketball crowds to describe what's been happening around her matches. It's nice to see that the Filipino community is really showing up and enjoying tennis. Hopefully it will help grow the sport as well, and in the end give them something new and joyful. Four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, who has played in front of the wave herself, described the experience as feeling more like a basketball game than a tennis match. Think about that for a second. A tennis crowd, loud enough, committed enough, that a two-time major champion compares it to an arena sport built on noise. That is the environment Amanda Anisimova is walking into tonight. And the numbers backing up all of this noise are just as staggering as the crowds themselves. Heading into this Cincinnati run, Eala carries a 9-4 career record against top 10 opponents, a mark that puts her in genuinely rare company. 7 of those 9 wins have come in 2026 alone, a tour-leading total for the season. The names on that list read like a murderer's row of the WTA: Elena Rybakina at world number 2. Iga Swiatek, twice. Jessica Pegula. Coco Gauff. Madison Keys. Jasmine Paolini. Alina Svitolina, twice. This is not a hot streak against soft opposition. This is a 21-year-old systematically beating the best players alive, over and over, on the biggest stages tennis has to offer. And she's riding into tonight on real momentum, not just hype. Eala has won 8 of her last 9 matches, a run that began with a historic maiden WTA title at the DC Open just 2 weeks ago, where she beat the top 3 seeds, including a comeback win over world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the final. Her only loss in that stretch came in a grueling battle against Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic in Toronto. Everything else, she's won. Which brings us to tonight. Right now, as this video reaches you, Alex Eala and Amanda Anisimova are set to walk out onto stadium court at the Lindner Family Tennis Center for the very first meeting of their careers. 2 players separated by just a handful of spots in the live rankings. One chasing her 10th top 10 win of a career-defining season. The other trying to be the player who finally slows this runaway train down, in front of a crowd that will be doing everything in its power to make sure that doesn't happen. I am not going to tell you how it ends, because as of right now, nobody knows yet, not even the players walking out for the coin toss. What I can tell you is what's waiting on the other side, win or lose. A potential fourth-round date with Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova, who has already beaten Eala's countryman Leila Fernandez twice this season, a genuinely dangerous test on the other side of the draw. Beyond that, the road only gets heavier, a possible quarterfinal against world number 3 Jessica Pegula, the very player Eala just dethroned in the Washington final, and a semi-final picture that could feature Iga Swiatek or Elena Rybakina, two of the most decorated players of this entire era. This is the final major proving ground before the US Open begins on August 30th, and every single match from here forward is a message to the rest of the tour. Eala has already shown she does not fear the names on the other side of the net. The only question left is how far this particular run is going to carry her, and whether tonight becomes the night we look back on as the moment she truly arrived among the sports elite, or the night a former Grand Slam finalist finally found a way to slow the wave down. If you want to know exactly how this one ends, and where this story goes from here, subscribing is the only way you won't miss it. This is moving fast, new matches, new records, new history every single week, and I will be breaking down every step of it. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one.